Hello, I hope you can see me and hear me well. So welcome to the weekly stream where we look at different exams and I show you strategies and share some tips of how to work with different task types. We look at various papers of different English exams. Well, my name is Kate Bowes. I'm a professional tutor of English. I specialize in British English because I live in the UK. And you can also sign up for individual lessons with me if you would like to. I give lessons online on Zoom, any level from A1 to C2. I can help you prepare for any exam or just improve your English in general. If you would like to have lessons with me, please feel free to contact me about it. And also, I will be glad to see you in my social media, where I also post about the English language and the British culture. You can join me on Facebook, Instagram, or if you're a Russian speaker, on Telegram. You can find all the links in the description of this stream. So today we are looking at task 2 of the exam called the ISE I, provided by the Trinity College London. It's a B1 level exam, so if you're planning to take this exam, maybe you might need to take it if you want to get a British visa for certain types, not for all types of British visas, but for some types of British visas you may need to take this exam, or another equivalent exam if you're preparing for a different exam, but for this level it can still be useful for you to look at these tasks to see how to do them. And in general, even if you don't want to take any official exams, if you're just improving your English, working on your English, it's always useful to try different formats of tasks. Or maybe you're an English teacher and you're interested in finding out about the different exams that exist. So we did task 1 last week. If you haven't seen it and you would like to find out how to work with task 1, you can find the recording of the stream on my YouTube channel. And of course, I encourage you to look at all the tasks before the streams if you can. We'll look together, but it's more useful when you try and work through all the tasks by yourself first, and then see the correct answers and the correct strategies later, because this way it's going to be more useful for you. So let's have a look at task 2. What do we have in task 2? It's a multi-text reading. You can see it here. Multi-text reading. So in the previous task, I'll just quickly show you to remind you. In the previous task, we had one big text. It was divided into paragraphs, 5 paragraphs, but it's one big text, so it was called long reading. So reading a long text divided into paragraphs. But in the second task, you will have more than one text. So it's a multi-text reading. It means more than one text. And in fact, we are going to read 4 short texts. This time they are short, not long. 4 short texts. But they are all about the same topic. So in this case, In this case, it's foreign languages. It can be the topic is always different, but the type of task is the same, that you read 4 short texts about the same topic. So today it's about foreign languages in this particular sample paper. So let's just first have a quick look at the task that we are going to deal with. So we've got questions 16 to 20 here. Then we've got the texts. And the first one, you may think, what do you mean text? Where are the words? Where are the sentences? In fact, what we mean by text, it doesn't always mean that you have, words and sentences and some connected sentences. A text is anything. They use the word text in a very broad sense. So we can say that this is also a type of text, a diagram, a pie chart. And it's quite common in this exam that you will have some sort of a text that might look not exactly like a text, but it includes information, So in the broad meaning of the word text, it's something that gives you information, and this pie chart gives you information, right? We're going to look at it a bit closer in a minute. Let's first have a look at what other types of texts they give us. So this one is quite standard, standard type of text. This is clearly a text, so we can see that it's some sort of an article. It's divided with a line here, scientists, so it's clear to us that text B is some sort of an article. Text C, well, what kind of text is this? We have student name, class, language experiment. We just quickly look at the title. So it's some sort of a report, report about an experiment. And text D, again, maybe not the most standard idea of a text, not the first thing you would think of when you think of the word text, but again, it is a text, it conveys information. In text D, we've got some sort of a forum, I guess, a forum or a chat, where one person asked a question and the other people are answering these questions, just giving their opinion, right? So these are our 4 texts. And you see that they are marked with letters. Text A, text B, text C, and text D. So it's the letters that you will use in your answers. And then we have more questions about the same texts. So task 2, all of the questions are about the same 4 short texts. Question 21, 22. 21, 20 through 25. It's the same texts. It's a different type of questions, but they are all about the same texts. Then we have questions 26, 30, again about the same text, and again a bit of a different type of questions. Here you will have to fill in some words. In 21 through 25, we've got true statements that you will have to choose. And in the very beginning, 16 to 20, let's concentrate on these ones now. So let's read the task first. What do we need to do before we read the texts? Before we jump into reading everything, let's understand what we need to do with them. So let me read task for you. Read questions 16 through 20 first. Yeah, so they advise us to read the questions first. And the questions, you can see them over here. Yeah, 16 through 20. So that's important. Try to follow the instructions, yeah. Read them first. And then read texts A, B, C, and D below the questions. So read the questions first. Let's do this, yeah. Look at how the questions start. They all have a common beginning. Yeah, this, if I maybe draw a little circle here. Yeah, which text? It's a common beginning of all the questions. Yeah, which text explains that learning languages can help you learn other skills? And then again, to read question 17, you again start with which text advises language learners to travel. Question 18, again, you start with which text says that music helps us learn. 19, which text shows that more people choose to learn a language for pleasure than work. And question 20, which text suggests that people who learn more than one language do better at school. So the task itself already gives us some clues, some hints about the answers. It says which text, yeah, not which texts. There's no S. So it means one text for each question. Now, it's not always like this. It's often like this in many tasks, but there are other types of tasks where, for example, you need to choose two texts, or sometimes even more. Sometimes it says that more than one answer can be possible, yeah, 2, 3, several. In this task, we can see that it says which text for each question. There's no S, it's just one single text for each question. So it means that the answer here, for example, of question 16, it can be, for example, yeah, this is not the real answer, we haven't read the text. For example, it's text A. You decided that it's text A, yeah, you would write, you would write, let me get back my pen. You would write the letter A like this here, right? You don't need to repeat the word text, you just write A, and that's it. That's the answer. You can't add B or C if you chose A. But of course A may not be the correct answer. It was just an example. So next, as you read each text, decide which text each question refers to. Choose one letter A, B, C, or D and write it on the lines below. You can use any letter more than once. So this is very important as well. You can use any letter more than once. What does this mean for us? So, for example, someone may think, okay, for 16, for example, I choose A. For 17, I choose B. For 18, I choose C. For 19, I choose D. Well, I used all of the texts. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 texts, 4 letters. That's it. I've done the task. Now, this is wrong. Yeah, you cannot do this because you have to answer all of the questions. You have to have 5 letters here, and you can repeat them. Yeah, it says you can use them more than once. It means you can use them, for example, you can use the letter A again, or maybe the letter B or some other letter. Yeah, so you have to give each question a letter. Now let me get rid of this. Next, what do we need to do to deal with this task? well. Let's try and find the key words in these questions before we even read the text and try and find connections. Let's try and find the key words. Can I change the color here? Forgot how to do that. Not sure. Oh, yeah, on the side, that's right. Okay, let's, for example, use maybe some different color, I don't know, green, so that you can see well. So, keywords here. Which text explains that learning languages can help you learn other skills? What ideas do we need to look for in a text to answer this question, to find the right text for this question? So, learning languages, yeah, it's all about learning languages, but still it's important. Yeah, learning languages can help you learn other skills. Yeah, learning languages helps with other skills. This is what we are looking for in question 16. In question 17, what are we looking for? Which text advises language learners to travel? Well, first of all, advises, does it mean that the text agrees or disagrees with this idea? Well, advise it means the text agrees with the idea that language learners should travel. Yeah, and travel, of course, the action that language learners need to do. Then, which text says that music helps us learn? Yeah, so music helps. Which text says that music helps? 19. Which text shows that more people choose to learn a language for pleasure than work? So here we see a comparison. Yeah, pleasure and work, and we are talking about more people. Yeah, more people choose to learn a language for pleasure. More people learn a language for pleasure than for work. And finally, 20, which text suggests that people who learn more than one language do better at school? Yeah, more than one. So here we have not just one foreign language, but more than one language. And they do better at school. So some kind of achievements in different subjects in education. So suggests, the word suggests, again, does it mean the text agrees or disagrees? Well, if a text suggests something, then it means the text agrees with this idea. So, now let's look at the texts themselves and decide which questions each text is connected with. So text A, remember this is a text, this pie chart. Very easy to read, actually, not many words here, but it is important to understand pie charts and other sort of graphs, tables, anything like that could be potentially a type of text in this exam. Yeah, so reasons people learn foreign languages. First of all, we need to understand what is this pie chart about. What does it show us? It shows us reasons. Now, let me maybe use a different color. I don't know, like pink. Yeah, reasons people learn foreign languages. Reasons for learning foreign languages. So reasons, it's the same as why. Yeah, why do people learn foreign languages? So maybe someone made a survey, and they came to different people and they said, why are you learning a foreign language? And many people answered, and then they made this pie chart of how many people said what. So here we have this code. It's all in black and white, but it's clearly very different patterns. So this black square, personal interest or enjoyment. So it means that the reason why people learn foreign languages is just for personal interest or because they enjoy it, yeah. And this corresponds to this part here, right? To this part here. This whole black part corresponds to personal interest. People who learn languages because they are interested or because they like to do it. Yeah, it's this part here. And then you can find similar connections, yeah. For example, if it's degree requirement, we can see it's here. Yeah, this whole part here, maybe around a quarter of this circle. Yeah, it's the same pattern, so it refers to degree requirement. Yeah, use in future career. It refers to this one. Yeah, this part of the circle here. Future travel or study abroad. Study abroad, that's this part here. Yeah, this part here. Some squiggly lines. Then the grey part. The grey part is about family background. That's here. And finally, the crisscross pattern. Which color have we not used yet? Let's say yellow. Yeah, other. So some other reasons that are maybe very different, and they decided that this group is just too small to divide it into more reasons. All right. So we do have quite a lot of information here. Now let's look at the questions again and try and decide if any of the questions can be answered with this text. So again, 16. Which text explains that learning languages can help you learn other skills? Can we answer this question? Can we say that this text explains that learning languages can help you learn other skills? Well, we found the keywords. Learning languages, yes, of course. But other skills, is there anything about some other skills? No, it's only about reasons to learn foreign languages. So 16, it's not A, it's some other text that we haven't seen yet. Which text advises language learners to travel? Well, in this text we do have the word travel. We do have the word travel. Yeah, here, future travel. But does it advise us to travel? Does it tell us to do this? No, it just states how many people think that they need to learn a foreign language so that they can travel in the future. So it's not A. Yeah, 17 is not A. Just because there is one of the keywords is the same, it doesn't mean that it's the right answer. Yeah, because it doesn't advise language learners to travel. 18 says that music helps us learn. Well, here, in fact, nothing about music or about helping anyone to learn anything. Yeah, it's just about the reasons. Now, number 19. Which text shows that more people choose to learn a language for pleasure than work? Now, this is closer, right? So, choosing to learn a language for different reasons, for pleasure or for work. Now, choosing, yeah, that's the same as reasons. Yeah, choosing. We can say that choosing, someone's choice to learn a language is the reason why they learn it. So for pleasure and for work, can we find it here? Again, they can use different words. They can use synonyms. So for pleasure, personal interest and enjoyment. This sounds like, well, enjoyment is a synonym of pleasure. So it's the same as learning the language for pleasure. Yeah, for pleasure. So we do have it here. And work, another point here. That was point 1 here, yeah, and another point here is work. We are comparing pleasure and work. For work, well, use in future career. Career, it's the same as work, right? So, and we can now compare them on the pie chart. Yeah, so again, this pink part here is for enjoyment or for pleasure. Yeah, so it corresponds here to this one. And work, we chose orange for it. Yeah, this part here, this is use in future career. So this corresponds to learning a language for work. So now, do we agree that this text shows that more people choose to learn a language for pleasure than for work? Well, yes. If you look at the pink part and the orange part, clearly the pink part is a lot bigger. Yeah, this pink part that's originally black, yeah, is a lot bigger than the orange part that's white in the original text. So yes, in fact, we've got our answer here. Text A, this pie chart shows us that more people choose to learn a language for pleasure than for work. And let's just check number 20. We remember that each letter can be used more than once. We can repeat letters. So if we used A, it doesn't mean that that's it. That text A cannot be the right answer for any other question. In fact, it can be. It can be the right answer for another question. So let's check 20. Which text suggests that people who learn more than one language do better at school? Well, there's nothing about doing better at school in this text. Yeah, it's just about the reasons why people choose to learn foreign languages. So that's it. That's it. Yeah. Thanks to the pink and orange parts, we understand that this is text A. I need to write the number of the question. Yeah. Answers which question? 19. Yeah. So this is question 19. Yeah. And well, here I do it in a very, very detailed way. Of course, you can you don't have to do this in the actual paper when you are doing the exam, but it is useful to take some notes and maybe compare these parts. Yeah, so it's 19 because this part is bigger than this part. Yeah, you can make some notes like this. It makes it easier for you to check your answers later, to see why you decided that it was the way it is. Yeah, and sometimes it's easy to get the wrong answer just because you looked at the wrong part of the chart. Maybe you just confused some pattern. Maybe you confused these dots with the squiggly lines or something like that, or the right shade of gray. So always check your questions afterwards. Check your answers afterwards, yeah. So that's it for text A. Now let's look at text B. I hope you had the chance to read it before the start of the stream. If you're watching this as a recording and you haven't done the test yet, then you can pause it and read the text before I do. So now I will read it for you. Scientists believe learning a second language increases brain power. Researchers from University College London studied the brains of 105 people. 80 of these people were bilingual. They found learning other languages changed the part of the brain which processes information. They compared this change to the way in which exercise builds muscles. Studies show that people who regularly speak more than one language are better at problem solving. In addition, students who study foreign languages often score better in tests than students who only speak one language. This is particularly true in maths, music, reading and understanding vocabulary. So, some scientific findings. Some research about learning languages. Now again, let's refer to our questions. So question 16. Can we say that text B answers this question? Which text explains that learning languages can help you learn other skills? So again, I encourage you to, when you are actually doing the test, to take some notes right here, to underline things. In the actual exam you can do it. It's perfectly fine to do whatever you want with the test papers. They are only going to look at your answers. But if you need to take some notes or write on the paper, that's fine. So, other skills. Do we have any information about other skills? Well, in fact, yes. Maths, music, reading, understanding vocabulary, these are not language learning skills. These are other skills. And what does this have to do with languages? Well, we see that students who study foreign languages score better. They become better at other skills, And in this part as well, people who speak more than one language, so it means they know at least another language, probably a foreign language, are better at problem solving. So it means that, yes, can we say that learning languages helps us with other skills? Yes. From this text, we can say that learning languages helps us to develop other skills as well. So that means it's question 16, for question 16. Yes, we can say that this is B, text B. Okay. Now, advises language learners to travel. Does this text advise language learners to travel? In fact, we have nothing at all about traveling in this one. So, no, it's not B. Says that music helps us learn. Now, we do have the word music here. If you look here, the word music is here, but does music help us learn languages? Or is it the other way around? Here it says that learning languages helps us with other skills, for example, with music. So this is not true. It's not 18. 18 is not text B. well, 19 we already know that it's not B, but it is a good idea to check just in case you confuse something, especially if you're not sure about your answer. It's always good to check again, even if you already have a letter here. So does it show that more people choose to learn a language for pleasure than work? Well, there is no information in text B about reasons why people choose to learn languages. So no, it's not B. And which text suggests that people who learn more than one language do better at school? So in fact here we've got information about that, about doing better at school, right? Students who study foreign languages often score better in tests than students who only speak one language. So scoring better in tests actually means doing better at school, right? Scoring better, it means getting a bigger, a higher score. So this is question 20, yeah? And it's a good idea to use different colors, yeah? So this is for question 20. All the red parts, yeah, the words I underlined with red, this is for question 16. But blue, this is for question 20. And yes, this is text B. This is text B. Now let's look at text C. Again, I hope you've already read it before, but just in case, let me read it for you one more time. So there's a student name Maria Coates, probably. Class 4A, language experiment. Today our class conducted an experiment based on research about learning languages. Researchers at the University of Edinburgh's Reed School of Music have discovered that learners' memory skills are much better when learning language to music. Our class decided to test whether music helped us learn languages. In our school experiment, we tried to remember phrases in Greek and repeat them 15 minutes later. It was of course important to choose a language no one knew. We were divided into 3 groups. Each group listened to the Greek phrases and repeated them, but each group did this in a different way. The first group heard the phrases spoken. The second group heard phrases said to a rhythm, and the third group heard phrases in a song. The singing group was able to remember far more Greek than the other 2 groups. Our conclusion was that learning language in a song does help you remember language more easily. Well, and if you remember the questions correctly, it probably already jumps out at you that it's to do with question 18, yeah? Which text says that music helps us learn. Well, let's check again, just one more time. So there is learning language to music, yeah. They test if it's true. First it says that they test if it's true, and then the conclusion, yeah, the conclusion is that yes, it does help you remember language more easily. It does help you. So music helps you learn a language. So this was for question 18. Yeah, so this is text C. But let's just check the other ones. So does it explain that learning languages can help you learn other skills? No, this one is the other way around. It says that another skill, music, helps you learn a language. Not language helps you learn music, but music helps you learn a language. So 16 is not C. Which text advises language learners to travel? There was nothing about traveling. Does it show that more people choose to learn a language for pleasure than work? No, nothing about reasons why people decide to learn languages. And does it suggest that people who learn more than one language do better at school? Well, no, it only suggests that people who listen to some language examples in the form of a song, they do better at learning the language, not in general better at school. So no, this is only text C only answers question 18 and nothing else. And well, of course, it looks like the last one should be D, but we need to check that it's true because, well, it's easy to make a mistake when we don't check. So let's check that it's true. Text D. Some sort of a forum. Yeah. So the question is, what is the best way to learn a foreign language? And 3 people from different countries answered just using their opinion. Yeah, it doesn't mean that everything in these texts is absolute truth. These are all like opinions. These can be just opinions. So we answer the questions based on the texts. So Ik-sung from South Korea says, you should definitely go and live abroad. The best way to learn a language is to be with native speakers and not speak your own language. Alexei from Russia says, I use the internet all the time. It's a really cheap and easy way to learn. You have to be careful though, as not all websites are good. And Cara from Italy says, I think watching films with English subtitles is very helpful. My friends listen to English music, but I don't think that's a very good way to learn. So 3 people give their opinions that are, well, quite different from each other about the best way to learn a foreign language. But can we say that one of them advises language learners to travel? Well, yes. If we look at the first person, Ik-sung from South Korea, says you should definitely go and live abroad. To live abroad, it means travel, yeah. To travel to a different country and live there. So one of these people advises language learners to travel. It says that it's a good idea to travel when you are learning a foreign language. So yes, this is D. And again, if we look at all the other ones, we need to make sure that we are correct. Does this text explain that learning languages can help you learn other skills? No. Music, nothing about music. More people learn a language for pleasure than work. There are no reasons, only advice what to do when you already want to learn a language. And does it suggest that people who learn more than one language do better at school? No. So this is it. These are our final answers, B, D, C, A, and B. And as you can see, we used B twice, and it's inevitable. Yeah, we have to use one of the texts at least twice because there are 5 questions and only 4 texts. So this is perfectly normal. So we've done the first part, questions 16 through 20. Let me just check if anyone maybe is watching and ask me any questions at this point. No, I don't see any messages. So that means you haven't got any questions. But well, if you watch this stream as a recording and you do have a question, please feel free to contact me. Write something in the comments. I will try and answer your question. So now let's look at questions 21 through 25. What do we need to do here? First of all, always read the task. Yeah, our rule number 1, before you do the task, read what the task says. And it often helps you to understand what kind of answer we need to give. So here we need to choose the 5 statements from A to H, so these ones right from A to H below, that are true according to the information given in the text above. According to the information from the texts, yeah. Not true as in I think it's true or I think it's not true, but does one of the texts say that it's true or not? And write the letters of the true statements on the lines below in any order. Yeah, in any order. So questions 21 to 25, you can put the correct letters in any order. So how many statements are there? Well, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 statements. And how many of them are true? Well, we see in the task, choose the 5 statements. So only 5 are true. Very similar to what we did last time, but maybe someone hasn't seen the previous stream yet. So what about, well, 8 minus 5, there are 3 others. So the other 3 are what? So if 5 are true, it means that there are 3 that are not true. And we always need to check this when we've done this task. We need to check that we've got 5 true and 3 not true statements. And not, for example, 6 true or 4 true. It has to be exactly 5 true statements. Now let's look at the task itself, the statements themselves. And again, try and find the keywords here. A. The most common reason for learning a language is to understand films and music. So here we've got common reason, most common reason. And the reason is to understand films and music. So A. What text does it refer to? Is it text A, text B, text C, or text D? Where can we find any information about this? Well, it's about reasons for learning a language, so it means it's our pie chart, text A. This is about reasons, this is about reasons why people learn foreign languages. Now, what is the most common reason? Most common means that the biggest number of people choose this reason, have this reason for learning languages. So what is the biggest part of this pie chart? Well, this is personal interest or enjoyment, pleasure, personal interest and enjoyment. This is the biggest part. And the statement says to understand films and music. So is it true? Well, it doesn't look like it's true, but maybe you're not sure. Maybe say you're thinking films and music is a type of enjoyment. Maybe you're not sure. You can put a question mark here if you're not sure, if you think it may be true. And you can always check later, because you need 5 true statements. So if you get 4, it means that A is true. And if you get, for example, 5 already, 5 of the other ones are true, then A is not correct. So so far I would say that it's not correct, because films and music is not the same as pleasure and personal interest. There can be other types of personal interest, But maybe if you think you're not sure, you can just put a question mark and check later. Let's look at B. More people learn another language because of their studies rather than their family. So again, this is comparison. And this is because. Because means it's about the reasons. The reasons. Because of their studies rather than their family. More people. So more people for studies. More people for studies than for family reasons. Yeah. Fewer people for family reasons. This is what this statement says. Yeah. So reasons. Where were the reasons? In text A, of course. So again, we need to look at text A and check this. Studies and family. So where are the studies? Well, studies are in fact the light blue part here, degree requirement. What is a degree? A degree is what you get when you go to university. Yeah, you study maybe 3 or 4 years at university and you get a degree. You can get a bachelor's degree, you can get a master's degree. So a degree means studies, a degree requirement, so it means, well, you have to take, for example, you have to take an English test if you're a foreigner to get into a British university. Yeah, so this part here, it's this part here. This is to do with studies. Yeah, the dots. And also, in fact, or study abroad, future travel or study abroad, we could say that this part here is also to do with studies. And the other thing that we compare it with is family background. And family, well, for their families, yeah, and this is family background, so it's this part here. Now, is it true? Well, if you look at this part here, and you look at the light blue parts, of course, the light blue parts are bigger. So a lot more people need to learn a language because of their studies than for their family. So it is true. Yeah, this question is true. Yeah, and maybe it's a good idea to also mark that which questions, 21 and 22, they are in this part, in text A. If you don't know the word degree, if you don't understand the degree requirement means for studies, degree like a university degree, then you can look at this part and they look the same. And you would say it's not true. You would say it's the same. But that would be incorrect. Yeah, the correct answer is it is true, because it's not just it's not just this green part here, the future travel or study abroad. It's not only this part, but it's also degree requirement. It's also this big part here. So I hope it's clear why the statement is true. So I can put the letter T here. This is true. Yeah, or maybe a tick if you prefer. Yeah, you can mark it how you want. So B is true. C. People who speak more than one language are often better at subjects with numbers. First of all, we need to decide where we can find this information and what are the key words. So, more than one language, at least 2 languages, yeah. Better at subjects with numbers. So what does it mean, subjects with numbers? Well, where do we use numbers? It means, well, maths, right? We use numbers in maths. And it can also be other subjects like physics. Yeah, we use numbers in physics, maybe in chemistry, and in some other subjects, maybe a bit less. So maths and other subjects where we need to use numbers. So where did we have information about something to do with other subjects, with other skills other than language learning? That was in text B, right? And what does it say about people speaking more than one language and numbers, subjects with numbers? Well, as we've already done in questions 16 and 20, they are better at problem solving, they score better in tests, people who speak more than one language. And this is particularly true in maths. So it means that yes. Question 23 refers to this text. And yes, we found that it is true. So I will put a T here. People who speak more than one language are often better at subjects with numbers. So they are better at maths, for example. Now let's look at D. Language learning boosts the brain when you speak the second language often. What are the key words here? Language learning boosts the brain. So boosts, what does it mean? Like improve. You need to understand the meaning of words and other synonyms. To boost, to make better, to improve. So boost the brain when you speak the second language. When you speak the second language often. So is that true or not? Where can we find this information? Again, it's text B. In text B we had some information about scientific research into what speaking a language does to people. And what do we have here? So it's question 24. It's still text B. Where can we find information about it? Well, in fact, we've looked at the second part of this text a lot. Now we have to deal with the first part as well. So they found learning other languages changes the part of the brain which processes information, and they compare this exercise to the way in which exercise builds muscles. So speaking languages is like when you go to the gym to exercise. If you exercise more, your muscles get stronger. If you practice a language more, your language skills become better. And then we have an even more clear sentence. People who regularly speak more than one language, they are better at problem solving. Or maybe what was? Let me read the question again, just to check. What was the question? Boost their brain. Boost their brain. So we can say that they are better at problem solving. Problem solving is also a type of boosting your brain, improving your brain. So you become better at processing information. it changes the part of the brain which processes information, and it says like exercise builds muscle, so changes it in a positive way. Yeah, the second sentence gives us explanation that it's changed for the better. Yeah, and people who regularly speak more than one language are better at problem solving, and they are better at all sorts of other things like scoring better in tests, getting better at maths and at music. So is it true that it helps boost our brain, learning languages? Does learning languages improve our brain? Well, yes, I agree with this statement. I think the text clearly shows that it's true. E. The University of Edinburgh tested different ways of learning music. So where did we have the University of Edinburgh? So not any other place, but the University of Edinburgh, and they tested different ways of learning music. Well, there was only one text which talked about the University of Edinburgh, and this is text C. Yeah. So question, let's say, actually we don't really have questions here, but one of those questions from 21 to 25, let's for example say 25, yeah, they refer to text C. You know, that was probably not the right way to mark it actually. Let's just say statement E. Yeah, that makes more sense. Statement E. Statement E refers to this text, and here the other ones I should probably change it as well. C and D. Yeah, not this was not 23, this was statement C. This was statement D. And here we had statements A and B from 21 to 25 from this part of the test. Yeah. So statement E about University of Edinburgh. Yeah, that's the only text that talks about the University of Edinburgh. So what did they study? Let's read. Researchers at the University of Edinburgh's Reed School of Music have discovered that learners' memory skills are much better when learning language to music. Memory skills are better when learning language to music. Did they study different ways of learning music? No, they studied one of the ways to learn a language. Yeah. To improve your memory skills, not a way to learn music. So it's about learning languages and using music as a help. It's not a different way of learning music itself. No one is learning music here. So no, this is a no. This statement is not true. F. It is easier to remember words when you sing them. Well, singing words, singing language, that was again text C, so the next one, F goes here as well. It's also refers to text C. So what do we know about, well, let's underline the keywords. Easier to remember words, yeah, easier to remember when you sing them. So is it true or not? So if you remember, they had an experiment here trying to learn Greek in different ways, and there were 3 different groups. Yeah, the third group heard phrases in a song, and the singing group was able to remember far more Greek, than the other 2 groups. So the conclusion was that learning language in a song does help you remember language more easily. Yeah, more easily. So, is that true then? Is it easier to remember words when you sing them? Yeah, it looks like this text states that it's true. G. Reading words on a screen can help you learn a language. Now this might be a bit difficult to understand which text it refers to and which part. Yeah, reading words on a screen, we didn't quite talk about that. But different ways of learning a language. This was text D. Yeah, statement, what was it? G, right? Statement G. It's over here. And, well, which person talks about somehow reading words on a screen? Do we have any information about that? The first person talks about going abroad and talking to native speakers, so that's not it, not here. The second person talks about using the internet and different websites, but he doesn't quite talk about reading words on a screen. You could say that it's sort of about reading words on a screen if you use the internet, but maybe not quite, so we're not sure. Let's put maybe a question mark. Person 3, Cara from Italy, says, I think watching films with English subtitles is very helpful. English subtitles. Now, English subtitles, that's words on a screen, right? Words on a screen. It's when you don't just listen to the words, but you also see them written down on the screen. Yeah. So, yeah. Actually, it looks like it's true, because she says that it's helpful. So it's a positive thing. Yeah. And the statement says reading words on a screen. Yeah, again, we forgot to underline reading words on a screen can help you learn a language. And she says it's helpful. So, yeah, it's true. It's true. And finally, H, any website can be a good place for language learning. Well, we've just looked at text D. So any website, let's look at how the question is formulated. Any website can be a good place for language learning. So any website, so it means all of the websites are good. Yeah, it doesn't matter which website you choose. So is this true or not? Well, who talks about websites? That's Alexei from Russia. I use the internet all the time. It's a really cheap and easy way to learn. You have to be careful though, as not all websites are good. Yeah, not all. That means that this statement is actually false. Yeah, because Alexei says you can't use any website. You have to use, well, you can use some websites. Some websites are good, but not all of them. Not any website. So this statement is not true. Now let's have a look. How many true statements have we got? Remember that we need to have 5 statements that are true. So we've got B, C, D, F, and G. That's 5. So if you had any doubts about A, maybe you thought that films and music are like a type of pleasure, and you put a question mark there, you can see that, well, we definitely have 5 other true statements. It means that A can't be true. And I already explained why it actually isn't. because well, here we have personal interest. Yeah, you remember this question, personal interest, films and music. Films and music is just one of the possible personal interests. Some other people maybe just like learning languages, not for films or music, but in general. Like me, I like learning languages. So that would be part of this whole black thing. Yeah, not only those who learn it for films and music in particular, or maybe someone likes reading books in a language, literature. That's not films and music. Yeah, there are all sorts of different personal interests in the language. So now we put our letters here: B, C, D, F, and G. And remember that they can go in any order. So for example, if you want to put them in a different order, I don't know, you can put F, then D, then B, then G, then C. That's fine as well. Yeah, that's going to give you full marks anyway, so it doesn't matter in what order you put them. Just to not confuse you though, I will put them in the alphabetic order, just not to confuse you. But the order doesn't matter, it's only important that it's the right letters. Yeah. So we are done with questions 21 through 25, and we've just got one other task left. Let me just again check, just in case, check if anyone's got any questions. Maybe anyone asking something in the live chat. Doesn't look like it. All right, so no questions here. That means we can move on. Do ask me questions in the comments though, if you have any questions after watching it as a recording. So questions 26 through 30. Let's read the task. The notes below contain information from the text on pages 4 and 5. Our 4 short texts, yeah. Find an exact number, word, or phrase. Maximum 3 words from texts A through D to complete the missing information in gaps 26 through 30. Write the exact number, word, or phrase on the lines below. So you've got some notes about learning languages, and these notes are based on the texts that we have read together. And you can see that there are some bullet points. Yeah, these are bullet points. So it's in a different format. It's not like full text. They didn't take any sentences from the text. They formulated them in a different way. They used some other words to say the same ideas. But what you need to do is find an exact number, word, or phrase. So you have to take it from one of the texts. You can't just make some word. You have to find a word from the text that you can use here. Or maybe a phrase or a number. Yeah, but it has to be from the text and you cannot change it. You can't change its form, for example. So, yeah, and we need to remember that the maximum is 3 words. So it can be 1, 2, or 3 words, or a number. Yeah, 1, 2, or 3. 1, 2, let's say 1, 2, or 3, not all together, of course, words, or a number. The correct answer must be one word or two words or three words or a number. So let's read the notes. The benefits of studying a second language. And all this information is pulled from all of the different texts. Pleasure, something enjoyable and interesting to learn. The language is required in order to study for a... And now we need to find some word or number or phrase from the text. So, can it be a number? No, it doesn't make any sense. To study for a... what? So it has to be a noun, right? A noun is missing here. Noun or noun phrase or something similar to a noun. So, where can we find this information? Language being required to study for something. Well, requirements, it's to do with reasons. So again, we look at our pie chart. Which parts of the pie chart dealt with studies? It was this one, degree requirement, and this one, to study abroad. Yeah, studying abroad. Well, can we say for a abroad or study abroad? No, that doesn't work. That doesn't work. Yeah, the language is required. Yeah, let's look again. In order to study for a what? Abroad doesn't work here. So it's not that. What was the other one then? The first one was degree requirement here. Can we use this word here? So from degree requirement and study abroad, that's our only options. Yeah, we can't change words. We have to take words from the text. So, well, can we use the word degree? Yes, we can. We can use the word degree. Now, do we need the word requirement? No, because it already says is required. The language is required in order to study for a degree. So, you can say the same idea in other words. The language is a requirement to study for a degree, yeah? Or it's a degree requirement to know the language. It's all the same thing, yeah, using different words, but it means the same. So we just put the word degree here, and we're done with 26. In order to study for a degree. Notice how we took this word from the text, from text A, and we didn't change it. We just put the word here, and it makes sense. Next, get a better job and progress in a career. And then bullet point starts with a missing word. Is increased by learning languages. So something is increased by learning languages. What kind of word do we expect here? Again, a noun or a noun phrase or something similar. Just like here, a degree, that was a noun, so that's a tick. We used a noun. Now, something is increased by learning languages. What can it be? What is increased by learning languages? Well, things being increased by learning languages, that was in text B. Yeah, we have to look in text B. First of all, we decide which text to use. So, which word can we use now? Scientists believe learning a second language increases brain power. So we already have here learning a second language, and we have increases. So what is increased by learning a second language? That's brain power. That's our word in the first sentence. We've already found it. So notice that here we use the active voice. Learning a language increases brain power. And in the notes, they say brain power is increased by learning languages. This is passive voice. Yeah, passive voice. Yeah. Well, if you're not familiar with passive voice, then you should study this grammar topic because it's important to understand if you want to pass level B1 successfully. So is increased, it's the same idea, but just we used passive voice here instead of active voice. So it is brain power. Yeah, brain power. Again, notice that we took this word from the text. I didn't change it. It's the word from the text. And is it a noun or a noun phrase? Yeah, it is a noun. So that's great. Next, foreign language students often get higher marks in something. So what kind of word do you expect here? Well, again, some sort of a noun or a noun phrase, right? Get higher marks in something. And probably we can even guess what type of noun. Some sort of a, well, some sort of word connected with education. So it can be a subject like higher marks in maths or in physics. Or it can be just something like exams or tests. Yeah, so what do foreign language students get higher marks in? Higher marks. Where did we talk about this? In which of the 4 texts? Well, it was in text B. We talked about students getting higher marks. And how exactly does the text say this? In addition, students who study foreign languages, again, often score better in tests than students who only speak one language. So score better, it's the same as get higher marks. Yeah, to score better, to get a higher score, it means to get a higher mark. So for example, I don't know, you might have 100% maximum on a test, and I don't know, someone gets like 70 and someone gets I don't know, 50. So this is higher than this, higher score or a higher mark. And where do they get higher marks or better scores? Well, in tests. So that's our word. Can we use it here? Yeah. Why not? Tests. Does it make sense? Yeah. Foreign language students often get higher marks in tests. Next we have, and we need to check that it's a noun or a noun phrase. Is it a noun? Yes, tests is a noun. Effective ways of learning. Listen to to help learn new language. So what do we need to listen to? Where did we talk about listening? And to something, it means that, again, it's going to be, again, a noun or a noun phrase. Something. So what do we need to listen to? Where can we find this information? When listening, that was in text C. Now, what do we need to listen to improve our language skills? Well, you could say music, of course, but we can't have a music. It has to be a something, in the question. So what kind of word can we use So the third group heard phrases in a song. So here is a word that we can use with a. And then we found out that it's better, so song. Does this work? Yeah. Listen to a song to help learn new language. That works. So we can't, once again, a something. It means we can't use the word like music, because music, it can't be a music. Yeah, well, it has to be one thing. Music, you can't count it. But songs, yes, 1 song, 2 songs, 3 songs. So be very careful and pay attention to the articles, if there is an article. It has to be, well, if it's the article a, it has to be something you can count, like a song. Is it a noun? Yes, it's a noun. And finally, number 30. And practice with native speakers. So something and practice. Well, practice is a verb. So it makes sense that the word here should also be a verb or some kind of a phrase with a verb, right? So we're looking for a verb, and we need to do something and practice with native speakers. So who speaks about practicing with native speakers? Which text speaks about talks about practicing with native speakers? That was text D. Yeah, practicing. And which of the 3 people here? Well, that's native speakers here. That's Ik-sung from South Korea. So what can it be? Do something and practice with native speakers. Well, before you can practice with native speakers, according to Ik-sung, you should definitely go and live abroad. You should go and live abroad. But notice that go and live abroad, this phrase has 1, 2, 3, 4 words. Can we use 4 words? Well, the task says no. Maximum 3 words. So you can't use this whole phrase. So you just, how can we make it shorter so that it still makes sense? Well, we don't really need to use this part, go and. You can just use the part live abroad, and that makes perfect sense. Yeah, so live abroad. So that is our answer. Live abroad, is it a verb or a phrase with a verb? Yes, live is a verb, and then abroad is just a dependent word, like live where, live abroad. So it's a verb phrase, yes, true. Live abroad and practice with native speakers. And then they finish the notes with use technology, for example, language learning websites. That was Alexei's suggestion, yeah. And television, for example, practice reading and listening with subtitle films. That was Kara's suggestion, yeah, from the last text. The 3 people who answered the question at the forum, yeah, Alexei and Kara, those are the 2 last parts. Well, why are they there? Well, just to help us understand that the previous point was about Ik-sung's opinion. Yeah, that in number 30 we have to fill in Ik-sung's opinion. Alright, so this is it. We have finished this part of the text of the exam. Yeah. Let's look over all of the tasks we've done today one more time. So it was a multi-text reading, and we looked at different types of questions today. Questions 16 through 20, we just needed to understand which text explains this, which text says that. Yeah, we needed to connect these questions with texts. And what's important to remember here, that you can use you can use each letter more than once. Yeah, for example, B, we use it 2 times here and here. The next type of question was true or not true. Notice that it's not true or false. Some questions in other exams ask you to say this is true or this is false. Here it's not like this. You need to find 5 true statements. So you have 8 different statements and 5 of them are true. The other 3 are not true. Maybe they are not false. Maybe it's just you can't find the information in the text. You can't find the information that it's true. So only 5 of them are true. And in questions 26 through 30, we have some notes about the text we've read. And they never use the same sentences from the text. They always change the language. But you have to find words from the text. You can't make up words. You have to use the exact words from the text. You can use 1 word or 2 words or 3 words, a phrase. Maximum 3 words, so you can't use 4 words, for example, only 3 maximum. Or you can also use a number. And you fill in the gaps here. So we've done all of that. So thank you very much for watching. Let me just check one more time, just to make sure there are no questions. Right, any questions? Looks like, well, I can't see any. Alright, so if you have any questions when you watch this as a recording, please ask them in the comments. I will be happy to answer your questions. And if maybe you didn't quite understand how to do some task or why this answer is correct, please ask me any questions you've got. And I'm going to see you in a week, next Tuesday at the same time. We always start at 6:30 p.m. London time. So if you live in a different country, not in the UK, if you have a different time zone, then think what time it's going to be in your time zone. And next time we are going to look at the next type of task in this exam. Next we have to do reading into writing. So I'm going to show you how you can write a text for this task. Yeah, we're going to look at this task next. As usual, I advise you to try and write your own text first, before you hear my comments, before I give you an example of what this text might look like. Try and write your own and then compare and maybe correct your text when I show you how to do it next time. Alright, if you found this stream useful, then please subscribe to my channel, and I will be really happy if you can also follow me on my social media, Facebook, Instagram, Telegram. Find the links in the description. See you next week. Bye bye.